Hello, La Pluma students, and welcome to a new art lesson. Have you ever seen one of these before? This is a dog that I made from a balloon. And our artist today loved to recreate this dog shape, this balloon dog shape, but in a really massive scale. So here is a small version of Jeff Koons' balloon dog, but this fits in my hand, and the ones that Jeff Koons would make would take up an entire room. So our artist today, his name is Jeff Koons, and our project today is going to be learning how to draw a balloon animal. And if you watch this video, you'll get a little bit of an idea of how his huge balloon animals look. All right, let's get started on our project. The first thing I want to do with you is practice drawing this oval shape or this kind of potato shape, which we will be repeating for our balloon dog today. So it's not a perfect circle, obviously, it's longer. So let's start by drawing one that's sideways. For this, you can just use like a scratch piece of paper. You don't need anything fancy. It can be a lined piece of paper. But I'd like you to try drawing one up and down, drawing one horizontal like this, and then maybe one that's going diagonally. And then also an oval that goes diagonally the other way. So that you can just kind of get the feel for this shape. So maybe just on this scratch piece of paper, try to draw a few more to get your practice. Maybe try to get a total of 10 practice ovals in. Okay, once you've practiced this shape, you can toss this paper, and we are going to get started on our balloon dog. We are going to start with the dog's head. And so let's do an oval that is horizontal, going side to side, and that same oval shape that we just practiced. It doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see from my sample balloon dog here, some of the ovals are shorter, some are longer, like the tail. The ears are shorter, so they don't all have to be perfectly the same size. Okay, we're going to skip from the head, and we're going to go to this front left leg, which is curving, or it's diagonal down towards the left corner of the paper. So I want to make it about the same size. Doesn't totally have to be perfect, but it's going to point towards this corner. All right, and then I'm going to leave some space, and I'm going to draw this oval for the back right leg, and it's going to point down towards this right corner. And it's approximately the same size as the other two, but not exactly. And you can see I didn't do a perfect oval here, and that's totally fine. That's no big deal. Okay, so I have 3 pieces of my balloon dog ready. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces that we're going to draw. So let's go next to this body part, this middle body part. We're going to connect these 2 ovals. We're going to do kind of a smile line between them towards the top, and then a rainbow line them above. Now let's go to the ear. It's going to start towards the back of the dog's head, and it's going to be an oval, but we're not seeing the entire oval. It points up towards the right corner, but part of it is behind the dog's head. Okay, we're almost done. We're going to do the neck next, and I'm going to make the neck a little different on this one than I did here. I'm going to have it connect to this top part above the leg. Here I had the neck connect a little bit lower on the leg, but here I have it connecting from the head to that joint between the body and the leg. And then I'm going to do a curved line behind the ear for the top of the neck. All right, let's get to the tail. We've got an oval that kind of repeats the direction of this leg. It's going to be right here. All right, and there is the basic shape of our balloon dog. We need two more parts. One is the little end of the balloon. You can see it right here on the sample, the part that's not blown up. And that's just a little loop right on the end there. And then the other is the knot where the dog's nose is. That's where the balloon is tied at the beginning. And you can see it here in this sculpture. And so for our knot, we're going to do a vertical line close to the tip of the oval, but not touching it. And then a diagonal line touching the oval from the top, and a diagonal line touching the oval from the bottom. Okay, and that is our shape for our balloon dog. As you saw in the video, Jeff Koons loved to use a mirror finish on his metal balloon dogs. And so they get a lot of shine. You can see, I'm by a window here so you can see these white parts that are reflecting the sunlight. And so we want to make our drawing of a balloon animal look like it is very reflective as well. So the next thing that we're going to do is for each of these shapes, we're going to add a white sort of kind of hot dog shape, which will stay white when we color it in. So I'm going to go to the body first, and at the top, maybe it's like a worm or a hot dog. I'm going to draw this sort of oval curved shape. And when I color in my balloon dog, I will keep that part white, so I'm going to color around it. And next I'm going to do a circle, which will also be kept white. And I'm going to do that for all the different parts. So on the back leg, a curved line that follows the outside oval, but then curve around and close it, and then a little circle there. Same thing up here, we're going to do it at the top of the tail. We're going to follow that outside curve, and then curve around, and add a little circle there by the tail. Let's come to the front leg. Follow the curve of the front of the leg, and then curve it around to make it look like a hot dog shape, and a little circle there. Let's make a little tiny hot dog shape on the neck, one up here on the ear, plus a circle. And then lastly, we are going to do one more shape like that on the head, and then a circle here. It kind of looks like it would be an eye, but it's not an eye, it's the reflection of light. Okay, we are ready to color in our balloon dog, but we're going to leave the insides of these shapes white. So I'm going to color around them. So So filling in each of these shapes for the body parts, but not filling in those smaller shapes that I just drew. Okay, I finished coloring in my balloon dog, and we've done these white reflective parts on each of the balloon dog's parts of the body. And now I want to do a shadow side where it's darker. So across from where it's lit, the opposite side of that piece will be shaded darker, like in a shadow. So like for this one, we have light here. So on the other side, we're going to draw a curved line of shadow. And this will just make it look even more three-dimensional and more realistic. On the tail, we have the light over here, so the shadow will be on the opposite side. Just coloring darker on that side. It doesn't have to be exact. Leave the shape, just a curved space. And the light's up here on the body, so I'm going to color a shadow on the belly down here. Same thing for this front leg. And under the neck is going to be shadowed. On top of the ear is going to get a little bit of a shadow. And under the head. All right, that looks great. And we are ready to do a background for our balloon dog. And we're just going to do an abstract blurred background. So I'm going to use blue. I'm going to use the side of my crayon. So this is like a blue, kind of like a blue sky. It's going to shade around my dog. The idea of a blue sky is not going to be any detail, just abstract, just the idea. And I'm going to use a green to kind of give the idea of maybe some trees or like for outside, some plants. But again, it's blurry, so we're not really paying attention to the background. We're actually wanting to focus on the subject of our picture, which is the balloon dog. Okay, and I'm going to use a brown to make the ground. And again, I'm going to use the side, but underneath the paws, I'm just going to do a little bit of a darker area, and maybe even under the body too, just to show like shadow, because we want the dog to feel like it's grounded and it's actually standing on the ground. So we'll do a darker area underneath our dog, but then lighter around that. Okay, and then I just have this little area I forgot, and that's going to be sky under there. And maybe a little bit of green for a tree or something. Okay, and there is our balloon dog, inspired by Jeff Koons and his giant balloon dogs. And I hope you guys had fun. Thank you.